trying to do it.
And we got a class going by, but that's okay. Alright, so this book is called Mistakes Help Us Learn. And it is a non-fiction book. You guys remind me what that means?
That means it's a factual book.
That it's got real events in it, or a real story. So I noticed that you guys are all busy building things during creative play this week, right? Have you ever made a mistake and had to start over when you're building something?
Like, at
Uh-huh.
ago, at least 1 day ago, I was trying to make a marble with one of them when the piece accidentally made a glue on a piece that dried that wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, and what did you do when that happened?
I just left them bounce away.
Yeah. So sometimes we can just leave it. Sometimes we can redo it. Just
I
like,
did not want to get another box from in the basement.
yeah. Sometimes it's too much trouble to redo something. Yes, ma'am, you have a question?
One time earlier, I made a mistake when I was trying to make one of my snakes grow up. Like I was putting it together, and it was one of my toys
Yeah.
from the morning.
From creative play. Yeah, I always see you guys really busy building things. There's a lot of cool
And
construction work going on.
I was trying to get a piece on, but it wouldn't go together, so I tried again. And then I asked Emma if she could help. And then I tried one more time and I got it, and then I asked her to help 2 more times and she did help.
Well, hold your thought, because we're going to read this book and then talk more about mistakes that we've maybe made, experiences we've had.
Okay, I'm already on top of the...
Okay, so I'm on page 4, a chance to learn.
I'm on that same page.
People are problem solvers. They find ways to make life easier, safer, and more fun. But solutions do not always work the first time. Making mistakes is a part of problem solving. Every mistake is a chance to learn. So that little caption says, these friends are building a tower. The first tower they built fell down, so they stacked the blocks a different way. Now the tower stands tall. They learn from their mistakes.
There's some words at the bottom.
Okay. People often work together to solve problems. You're right. Thank you for catching that.
Okay, page.
Yep. Next page. Engineers are people that they solve problems. That's their job. So engineers are people who use math, science, and creative thinking to solve problems. Engineers know that making mistakes is a chance to learn. So the caption for that photo says, engineers enjoy solving problems even if they make mistakes. Over here it says, learning from mistakes helps engineers design better solutions. Roads are safer today because engineers have learned from mistakes in the past.
I can now keep track of
Testing. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. When engineers have an idea for a solution, they make a model. Then they test it. Testing lets them see if their idea solves the problem. So the caption for that photo says, engineers make careful plans when they design solutions, but they do not always get it right the first time. Testing models helps engineers find mistakes. Then they can fix mistakes. This engineer is making a model of a car. He will test it and look for mistakes. Then he will fix the mistakes.
the page.
Page 10. Keep trying. If their model does not solve the problem, engineers do not give up. They learn what went wrong. Then they improve their design. Engineers can change the size or shape of the solution. They can change what it is made of. They can change how it works. This girl has an artificial hand. So she lost her hand.
Kind of like in a girl, she needed a dog named Misty when she got her legs.
Yeah, that's one way to
Rescuing
yeah.
Jessica.
Yep, engineers Tested the hand many times. They fixed mistakes. Now her hand works well. She can use it to change this light bulb. And if you've ever had a light bulb, that's kind of delicate. So you have to, she has to be able to control how hard she's squeezing to do that, doesn't she? Or she'll break the light bulb. Yeah, page 12. Sharing mistakes. Engineers share their ideas with each other. They also share their mistakes. Sharing mistakes helps engineers learn and design better solutions. Engineers make sure others do not make the same mistakes. So, if you guys were building a tower and you saw your friend doing something that you had done that didn't work, you could say, hey, I did that before and it worked better if I put this piece here because it made it stronger. That would be a good example of you guys being engineers. Okay. Page 14.
I think you didn't read the bottom.
You're right. I'm sorry. You guys are so good at catching me. I can tell that you're reading along really well when you catch stuff like that too. Sharing ideas and mistakes can help engineers solve new problems. So, some problems are old. Sometimes when things change, new problems come up and they have to figure out a solution for that. And learning from the past. Engineers also learn from mistakes that people made long ago. They learn why other solutions failed. They make sure they do not make the same mistakes. So down here it says an engineer may study a bridge that fell. They learn why it fell. It helps them design safer bridges. Up here, some engineers study ships that sank, such as the Titanic. They learn from past mistakes to design stronger, safer ships. The Titanic sank in 1912, and that's a picture of it. It was a pretty big ship.
How did it sink?
So here is, it hit an iceberg and it made a hole in the boat so that water got in and it sank. So when they learned from that, they designed the boat differently so it wasn't as easy to have the iceberg make a hole in it.
Like,
right? Make it stronger in ways so.
Don't make sure that it's too heavy.
Yeah, so they said, oh, this ship was supposed to be unsinkable. They actually said that. This is an unsinkable ship. But they found a flaw that allowed the iceberg to cut a hole in it, poke a hole in it, and sink it.
So make it safer.
Yeah, so make it safer to be on a big ship like that. Never give up. Engineers may have to change their design many times, but they do not give up. They learn what went wrong. They use what they learn to make the next design better.
Yeah, I can follow along with my eye.
Nice. This says, by the light bulb, it says Thomas Edison invented the first light bulb. He tried thousands of designs before he found one that worked. How would we light our homes if Thomas Edison had given up?
Nothing.
Yeah. How many times? He failed a lot of times before he found the exact way to make the light bulb.
So he gave up?
No, he didn't. That's why we have light bulbs. So they're saying he had to try it thousands of times. That's a lot of tens, right? Before, and he still didn't give up. If he had given up, we wouldn't have light bulbs. Amazing engineering. Learning from mistakes is a big part of designing amazing solutions. Some of the solutions people use every day came from engineers who did not give up. Have you ever flown on an airplane? Yeah. It took Orville and Wilbur Wright many years to invent the first airplane. They tested and proved many models. This is James Dyson. He designed a new vacuum cleaner. He made more than 5,000 models. So he tried 5,000 different versions.
What?
He kept testing and changing his designs until he got it right. Today, people around the world use his invention. Yeah, Dyson vacuum cleaners work really well.
Looks like he has a foot on his hand and then he has...
That's a funny reflection, isn't it? Always learning. So engineers know that every mistake helps them learn. Can you think of a time when you learned from a mistake? And we'll talk about that real quick after this. This girl made a model of a bridge. She tested to see if it can hold objects without breaking. After each test, she makes her bridge stronger. This engineer designed a robot to make cookies. She made and tested many models. Now her robot makes the cookies just right. What could you design?
Like maybe
I can design a robot.
A what? Say it again.
A robot.
like with
A
Mr.
robot.
Even
Okay,
Mr.
to help you with
Peterson,
something.
We use Rubik's cubes,
Yes.
little cubes, and we design little robots. And he has like a fake puppet that can talk by itself, right?
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Fun robot.
that's why I was saying we're close to the end of the book. Now you guys, I see you guys, did you know that you were learning and like designing things when you do your creative play in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Peterson sneaks in that learning and you didn't even know it. Isn't she sneaky? She calls it creative play, but that's because you guys are being engineers and you're designing your own buildings. I've seen snakes. I've seen models of.
I have two really tall snakes. It took me forever to get the baby. I'm scared to go
Yeah.
inside the basement.
Guys,
Now, what if you make your snake too long and you try to pick it up? What happens? It breaks. So, what do you have to do next time you make a snake?
Make it shorter.
Yeah. Or I've seen you supporting them by having them out on the floor. So that helps support the weight so it doesn't break.
look at this. I completed it and I got 205 points in 12 minutes.
Awesome. Is making a mistake a reason to give up?
No.
No. It's an important part of learning. That's why they have erasers on pencils, right? I know I put shelves together last week and I think I put something in backwards. So I had to take those shelves apart and then put them together again. And my son helped me. He read the directions to me while I did it, which helped me a lot. So it was like us working together to design, to be engineers. So yeah, I had to take it apart and put it together again, but now it works really well.
I'm too scared to go inside the basement. Only because there's a spider that is behind her.
Oh my gosh,
Like
maybe
this.
you could come up with a solution.
So we just
to
don't touch
pers-
it, and if we, it hasn't came out in a long time. Ever since I've scared me right there.
Yeah. One good thing about spiders is they eat other bugs. They don't want to
But
mess with you.
Now there are a bunch of spiders on spider webs over our ceiling and
Okay.
dead ones.
Spiders are engineers too, though. What do they build? Webs, and their webs work really well. Probably after millions of years of spiders making webs, they make the best webs ever, right?
And I believe that spiders like die after they have their babies.
I've heard that too. You guys are full of wonderful information.
Yeah, our class is a good information class. Our classmate almost knows everything.
If you guys have made a mistake at school or this week or at home, can you think of a mistake that you've made? And what did you do?
In reading last night, in my fluency, I missed 8 words because I didn't read them because I skipped one because
Uh-huh.
I forgot they were there.
So what did you do?
I'm trying to do better.
Did you reread them again and you did better the next time?
No, I gotta do better tonight.
Okay, so you're gonna try it again and hopefully do better. We're just gonna go in order here, so I will get to you. Miss, can you think of a mistake that you made at school or at home?
Well, one time I was at home and I was reading literacy and I think I my phone pictures.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it could be about anything, even when you're building your,
Well, actually, I think it was my second one.
yeah.
Like reading it
Yes, you guys both gave good examples. When we're doing fluency, we don't always get it right the first time.
And I think I got to try again.
Yeah, fluency, when we're reading, sometimes we have to read things over and over, sound words out, before we get it right. Sometimes we make mistakes and then you go back and you read it again, and you usually do better the next time?
And the last read of that one, I got all the way to the end.
That's a really good example. Yeah. You did it faster and better that time because you'd already practiced, made some mistakes, and then learned. Okay, I know you've been waiting to share your story with us.
Me and my sister tried to build a Lego city like downstairs since we have a little pad that we can put it on. And something that people were saying is just idea. I can build something that looks safer, it goes to the workshop, but in it like had a second floor and a slide.
Oh my gosh.
Out the slide and I rearranged everything. Now he has a garage instead.
Does it work better now? Excellent examples, you guys. So what I wanted you to do was share with me. You can use some words if you want to.